I'm hoping I know where to go.
Hang in there. It's the same place you always go. But, what is that? No. And why are they? There's that. Okay. Anybody hearing anything better?
I can't get on the show.
Okay, well, because I had to restart it. Let's see.
It's not Jeff Gillis.
No, it's not Jeff Gillis. It's Rich Verge. Oh, you know what? I can see the chatter.
Rich Verge.
Still sounds bad, huh? That's craziness. I will try to fix it. Well, I have no idea why I hate this stuff. How about now, kids?
I can't hear anything.
You what?
I can't hear anything. I don't even have the music anymore.
Because the music is off.
Oh.
We're just listening to the mic. Anybody? Crackling gone? Better. I love that.
Better?
It's got to be.
What's the deal with this?
With what?
Why?
Because you're 20 seconds behind. As always. As usual. All right, so let's see. All right.
Okay, clean. Tom Heimish says.
Well, if Tom Heinisch said it's clean, then I know it's good to go. And thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
I heard it before when I was testing the mic. It was like crackly and weird.
It's good.
Okay, we like that.
Sue
It's good.
says,
We like it's good.
Better.
Yeah, not butter, better. I got it. I got that it was better.
Okay.
Okay.
Our guest tonight is going to come to us from Aruba.
Yeah, man. We're hitting the island crowd.
So it might be a little like Lenny. We don't know if there's going to be frogs and wind.
Yeah, it could be frogs and wind. It could be birds and waves. It could be tears and sorrow. We have no idea. Because we don't know what the wireless carriers are doing down in Aruba. But I'm glad that Rich is going to be here. So let me show you Rich. Because we don't play the videos anymore, but we do this. Right. Look at that. Angus. Nice intro,
Angus
bro.
Did that.
Angus did that. That's right.
Angus.
And this must be him with Badlands, because I understand that's the band that he played with, that he got in trouble with Bruce Springsteen for playing with Badlands. What?
It's messing up again.
What now? It's messing up again?
Yeah.
Anybody? Messing up?
It's crackling again.
It's crackling again. Applying the kitty. Okay. I don't know what to do about that. I really don't. I do not know.
Unless it's me.
Well, it could. There's always that possibility.
Okay,
so that's Rich. That's Rich, and Rich is.
Says no crackle. Okay.
Good. No snap and no pop either, because we can't have any of that.
No.
Because you deserve nothing but the best. So here we are hanging on Wednesday night. It's us, and things are popping, kids. New episode of the podcast, which if you saw the 200th guest, the fewer times I have to say that, the better it is. That's what I did episode 13 of season 1 of the audio podcast.
Right.
And it's just the audio from this, you know.
And it's on YouTube.
No, it's not on YouTube. No.
Where is it?
No, it's on Podbean, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on
everything but YouTube.
Well, because we don't podcast. Nobody. I don't. No, we live stream on. The live stream is on YouTube. In fact, let me see if this is actually working.
The producer would know that.
You would think, but go figure. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, YouTube. So, well, Sonny and Cher are on there now, so I don't know. But we're trying to give you alternatives. That's all I know. We're doing our best, and let's see if it actually happens. I tried to get it to stream to Instagram today. I don't know why. Everybody's here on Facebook, but when it sucks like it just did. Oh, here it is.
Maybe I should go over to.
When it sucks like it just did, Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. Hey, man. Hey, how are you doing? Good. You look really small in there. Yeah, I'm a little small. Wow, what happens if I do that and it does that? How weird. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, here we are, live chat. Hi, Don Ranky.
Okay, Frank.
Frank Badland. Yeah, you missed those days.
Says Badlands being misses those days.
Right? Now, I heard, I don't know, we'll ask Rich when he comes in, but I heard that he got in trouble, or they got in trouble for using that name because Springsteen had a song out at the same time, or.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, gee, Bruce, what's the matter? Somebody stole your song name?
Can't you do that?
Well, yeah, you can, but, Bruce has lawyers.
Yeah, but I mean, were they like a tribute? Bruce tribute?
No, they weren't. It was a Southern rock band.
Well, you know what? I got 2 words for Bruce, and they're not happy birthday.
Yeah, well, there's
like really. You went after.
I don't know. We're gonna ask. If we can get Aruba, all the way down here in Florida.
But they're down further than us.
What does that mean?
We're north of Aruba.
North of Aruba.
Think about it.
No, I don't. Do I have to?
I showed you where it was.
Right, and I wanted to know where it was in proximity to Lenny in Antigua.
It's further south and west than Lenny.
Oh, I wonder if we can have an island battle on Friday. Battle of the Islanders.
I don't know, but we heard.
Who's broadcasting sound worse?
We went on Frank's Facebook page and heard him doing a show he plays at a beach bar, and he sings really well.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just don't bail on the New York, New Jersey club scene and go to Aruba if you're not good, and because they won't hire you. I mean,
Angus said that he's got so much work in Aruba that he can't even take it all.
Well, Angus, man, maybe you ought to head down. As itchy as you are. And by the way, kids, let me tell you what. We had Jeff on last night, right?
Right. Oh.
Oh. And he turned me on to Knower. Now, it's not Noah like the guy with the ark. It's Knower, Knower. But then there's another band called, guess who's here?
Called Snarky Puppy.
And if you're into the fusion.
I am not. It's like my
No,
worst
I
nightmare.
know. But here comes Rich.
Here comes Rich.
Here comes Rich. Here's Rich. There he is.
Hey.
Rock and roll, brother.
Yeah, man. Oh, you sound good, and you got the palm trees. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're out on my veranda. But boy, I must say, you got an impressive resume, bro.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a little good fortune in my time, and very happy about it. But
Okay.
You, my friend, are in Aruba. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. It may sound trite, but it's wonderful, bro. It's like such a step away from being in the States. I come from New Jersey, the New York metro area.
Yeah.
And things are definitely not like up there. It's a lot more, we say, tranquilo, laid back. It's so much less stress. I mean, yeah, we do have stress here. Sometimes when I go to the supermarket and I can't find, what I want, I got to go to several different supermarkets. So things can get stressful sometimes.
That's at least there are several different supermarkets to go to.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, and they're all Chinese. It's so strange. We have Chinese supermarkets here. It's Chinese people that run them. They're supermarkets, and they're all over the place. We would call them mini markets in the United States.
Right, sure, mini marts.
And they're all Chinese. Strange, right? But that's how it is in the Caribbean.
Do you have any Chinese language? Any language skills?
Oh no, no Chinese language skills.
Would you like some?
Okay.
Okay, when you walk in, no, this is you say ni hao ma, like your knee, and how, like how you doing, and ma, like mother. Ni hao ma.
Ni hao ma.
That's how, how are you? Hello, it's like a greeting.
Okay.
And then when you leave, you say sai jen, like
Jen.
sai, like, and Jen,
Jen.
like short for Jennifer.
Or
Sai
Bruce.
Jen means goodbye.
I'm writing this down right now. Ni hao.
Ni hao ma.
Or you could just watch the show over again.
Yeah, you can just watch it back and write it down later.
Well,
Ni hao
that
ma
go-
and Sai Jen. They won't even, it's interesting because if they're Cantonese, it's a different language than if they're Mandarin. Chances are they speak Mandarin. But I'll tell you an interesting Chinese thing that I learned years ago. That the Cantonese, you remember the cartoons when they would have the Chinese guy and he was sounding like with all that boinging
Yeah.
stuff? That's Cantonese because Cantonese has 9 tones in the language, whereas Mandarin only has 4. So they can't understand each other talking, but they can read the characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your So ni hao ma, sai jen, and there you go.
Yeah, he talks to the waitresses at the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, it freaks him out. Freaks him out. And then they start saying things that I don't understand, and it gets a little above my my schooling. But yeah, that's they'll smile. I mean, even though even if you get a little wrong, it'll make them smile. So yeah,
Yeah,
ni
but
hao ma.
that people, in other places, they appreciate you made the effort. So,
Yeah.
For reaching out.
Well, that's it's interesting. So let's go back to Badlands for a second.
Dokes.
I think I remember your band, Badlands.
Oh boy. Okay. I remember Rat Race Choir, Steve.
Yeah, well, so do I. Fondly. But I think I do remember Badlands, Jersey band and Southern rock band, right?
Yes. We're a Southern rock band. We started, when I started with the band, the band went through a couple of phases. Before me, it was a real country bluegrass band. It was fiddle, there was pedal steel, mandolin. So there's those types of instrumentations. And when I got in the band, funny enough, I got in the band. I don't know if you know who Alex Aguilar.
Sure. Yeah, I do.
Well, he sold his bass amp head company, and now he's doing something else. But Alex got me into the band. Alex and I were jamming buddies. I remember I put an ad in a paper called The Aquarian. You remember The Aquarian?
I do remember the Aquarium. That's how I heard of everybody because we were playing every night. I never got to see anybody, but I remember I had Billy Monroe on from Monroe, and I remember his band because it had the legs. I remember everybody's logo, TT Quick, and Godspeed.
Yeah. Boy, but yeah, I used to do the same thing in the Aquarium. But I put an ad in just about wanting to find people to jam. And Alex and he'd come over to the house, and we were pals. His wife, I was married at the time. His wife, my wife, we'd go out and stuff. And then he wasn't in Badlands then, but then he joined Badlands, and he was leaving. So he called me to come audition, and then I auditioned with the guys. And it was this different instrumentation for me, because I was coming from blues, boy. I come from Muddy Waters, Johnny Winters, all that deep old stuff, the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I saw the band with Alex, because I went to see him at Mother's or something like that, and I was like, boy, how am I going to fit in? But you know what? It fit together just like pieces of a puzzle. So we rehearsed down in my basement. Well, they chose me, and we rehearsed down in my basement. And I bought a more bluesy rhythm and blues. We got a much more harder. We still did a few bluegrass tunes, but it was mostly like Foggy Mountain Breakdown, stuff like that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I
boy.
do, man. Believe me, I love the Soggy Bottom Boys, A Man of Constant Sorrow. I'm in that big time. I love bluegrass and all that. I do.
Well, one of our players at the time was Gary Oliar. I don't know if you're familiar with Gary or know him from New Jersey, but he's very well known. He's a multi-instrumentalist, and he's been playing with Kenny Loggins, Jim Messina. Whenever Jim Messina goes on tour, he brings Gary. And Gary, if you go down his basement, boy, he's got a studio. You think you're on a spaceship, just like you're in right now, you know? It's incredible. He's got a board that stretches from one side of the room to the other side of the room. It's incredible. But
Wow.
yeah, he was in the band. So it was really, a strange kind of it was a mix, but that's how we got into the Southern rock. Because then we got into the Leonard Skinner, Molly Hatchet, Allman Brothers, all those great old Outlaws, all
Oh,
those
yeah.
really great hard, Southern rock bands. And I remember, boy, we used to play Circus on a Tuesday night, Steve, on a
I
Tuesday night,
remember Circus.
700-800 kids. And, you remember the dressing room?
I
The
do.
dressing room was downstairs. Okay. Boy, I used to think that thing was going to cave in, bro. It was just, you're hearing everybody going by and the thing is like, but yeah, it was wild. It was wild. It was really,
Yes.
I think it was at a time, it was a good move for Badlands because hey, the country thing was really big. The country rock,
Yeah.
Poco, Pure
Flying
Prairie,
Burrito Brothers.
Panama Red. That was big, but then we got into the Southern rock and then we started attracting all that gritty crowd and everything,
That works. Well, but I heard, I chuck it around during the week who's going to come on, and I heard that Bruce Springsteen gave you a hard time about the name or something like that.
Well, I don't know because that at the time the business was handled by Bob Carlucci, the pedal steel player, and that might have been before I got into the band because all that shit was settled. All that shit was settled by the time I got in the band.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But, he gave us a hard. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, he was probably waiting for the
royalty check.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mailbox money.
Boy, I tell you, I for a while I lived in Atlantic Highlands, Middletown area, New Jersey. Where are you from originally?
White Plains, Westchester County, New York.
Okay, yeah, one of my ex-wives lives up that way in Scarsdale.
Oh, I know Scarsdale well. Yeah.
Hey, but you must have played the fore and aft.
That was my first rock and roll dream, bro. I'm telling you the truth. My brother was 8 years older than me. So I'm 10, he's 18, and he can go to the fore and aft south on whatever it was, West Post Road, East Post Road. And I'm like, man, I'm going to play there someday. I'm going to play there. And then it got to be, I'm never going to play here again. I'm never going to have to play here again. But yeah, no, I've got some amazing pictures from back then. It was a hang.
What about the Orangeburg pub? You ever played the Orangeburg pub?
Yeah, man. I mean, do you want me to go down the list? Dodds and Mothers in Wayne, New Jersey, and Towpath, and oh god, we played. If it was big enough for us to play, because we used to carry that ridiculous rig with us, then we would play there, man. Yeah. And who did we have on? It wasn't. What was the place with the airplane?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember either. People are screaming at the street.
Oh, Soap Factory.
Soap Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soap Factory. I never played there. The band I think played there before me, but I used to go there to see the Moderns and the Nines on my night off from Badlands. I used to go out and catch the new wave,
Yeah. So, well, all right. So, Badlands what was the time? What was the time frame? Because I'm a little foggy.
Spring of '79, and when we broke up, that would have to be towards the end of '81.
So was that when the drinking age changed?
Yes, boy, I tell you, man. And shit changed really quick. You know?
Really quick, man. Really. And we talk about it, we talk about it all the time because I started doing this show as a way to connect with my friends that I haven't seen in 30 years. You run into guys backstage, yeah, that whole thing. And now, this gave me a great excuse to reach out to all kinds of people and to meet new people and, and reconnect. And man, that's the one common thread that goes through that whole 70s, 80s era is how fast it all changed and how fast it all dried up once that drinking age changed. It was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember it was we had some gas rationing or something going on at the time, or shortage, and we sucking gas out of one tank to get it into the truck so that the truck can so the roadies could go overnight to the next gig. Boy, I tell you. But it really, what was nice about it back then, Steve, was that you had a place to go. You could see some live music, because I think once they changed the drinking age and then everything got tighter, the money got tighter, people weren't going out as much. Well, not as much, but yeah, a lot of the audience wasn't going out. But then came along the birth of the DJs, and blah, blah, blah. And goodbye band. Oh, it was great. You go out any night of the week and see a great band. Remember Hole in the Wall? The Hole in the Wall in Paramus.
Hole in the Wall, sure.
It's huge. And filled. I remember playing there filled with people. Filled. Oh, boy. Man. But we used to play Long Island. We were very popular in Long Island. We had steady Thursdays at the Mad Hatter.
In Stony Brook or in Quogue?
I don't know, Stony Brook. We played out in Quogue and out that way, like on weekends, Bordy Barn, some other place. I forget the name. That was crazy, but
there was OBIs. There was all kinds of crap out there.
Yeah, but we played a place called Hammerheads.
I remember there was two Hammerheads too. There was Hammerheads in Levittown, and where was the other one?
Islip?
No, Islip was Ubies, OTJ, in East Islip.
Okay. So
the Hammerheads that you're talking about, is that the one with the two stages?
Yes. Yeah, it was two stages.
Levittown.
I remember playing there. I think it was either Southern Cross or Twisted Sister that we were paired with, and we were broadcast live on WBAB.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
wow.
I don't know how many people the place held, but I heard like about 1,500. They had those two bars that were 3-masted sailing ships. Those were the bars on the dance floor. I mean, it was incredibly huge. I think it was an old Bradley's or something.
It was like an old supermarket, some kind of thing. It was massive. I remember.
Boy, but I tell you what, the place was packed, and we had the crowd. We were good at getting the crowd going, and people, their hands are in the air, and boy, when you feel that, that's the thing that people. That's the one thing I think people don't understand. They can understand the playing and everything like that, but just the energy and the power feeling that you get from that crowd and moving those people like that, boy. Now I play happy hours and stuff, people are eating their dinners and shit like that. So, but yeah, those are the glory days, Steve.
They were they were absolutely the glory days. And again, we say it on the show all the time. If you weren't there for that was like a moment in time. It was like the Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco scene, or the Northern Florida scene with with the Southern Rock guys, or Nashville for whatever. But the 70s, especially the 70s, was huge. That whole tri-state area. And the interesting thing about Connecticut was the drinking age. Well, no. I'm sorry. In Connecticut, their bars closed at 2:00. So if they were near the border, they would come over like to Brewster to play the 4.5 North, or to come and see.
I forgot that place. Wow.
Yeah. There was even 4.5 in Westport, Connecticut, if you remember that.
Okay, now one of our viewers, Dave Hassert, said that Mothers in Wayne, New Jersey is now Mother's Park and Ride, and he passes it every day.
Mother's Park and Ride.
Yep.
How nice.
Must be like a commuter thing, you know, where you park and
Wow. Why would they still call it Mother's? That's my wife and producer, by the way, Lori.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Yeah, so it's still called Mother's
wow. It must be some kind of a heritage,
Park and Ride.
Indian burial ground or something. I don't know. So, wow, man. You remember a lot.
Yeah.
You remember
Oh, well,
a
we
lot.
were all over the place, you know. After I left the band, I got into the insurance career, an insurance career, and I used to travel a lot, you know, because I'd go out and see clients, and I would drive past places, and already many of them, their names had changed or whatever, and I would say, I played that place. I know I played that place. I forget the names because there were so many. Like you just said, Four and Afton Brewster. Boy, I haven't thought of that place, and you used to drive up, what, 684 or something like that.
Yes,
get
684. Exactly right.
Boy, that was a hotel night for us, I tell you.
Yeah.
But you know, but you know, and this is, yeah, I guess this is going to come later. But when we would play, because it's one of those questions, you know, that you give me. But when we would play the island, or like if we were in Brewster and coming home no, it wouldn't be Brewster, but Long Island, man, we'd be coming home, but because I think our last set would end like maybe 3:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
Incredibly late, boy. 3:30 now? No way. You know, sometimes I get to play in the casinos here, and yeah, so we'll play the 1 o'clock or something, and boy, my ass is dragging, I tell you. Anyway, we'd be coming home from Long Island, and it would be like 5:30 in the morning, and we'd get into New York City, and we go straight to WoHop.
WoHop. I knew you were going to say it.
Boy, fucking, oh, sorry. WoHop.
Okay.
Man, we go downstairs, you know, and yeah, you see all those kind of shady characters and stuff at that time of night. But the best eating, the best food, you know, I don't visit frequently back to the States, but when I do, I go to WoHop. I even took my daughter there. I wanted to introduce the new generation of the next generation of virgins to the gourmet treats of WoHop. But some of the wait staff is still there. I remember a guy that used to wait on me. He doesn't remember me, but I told him, you know, but he's got gray in his hair and everything. And
Wow.
yeah.
Wow,
Cool.
man. Yeah, that was a big hang, WoHop, man. I mean, that was the big late night hang.
Yeah. We used to see other bands there sometimes. And boy, I tell you, when you leave the place, you know, you're delicious. You're sated. You're like, boy, I feel good. And you walk up the stairs and the sun came up and you're like,
And then you got to drive another hour and a half to get home.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I lived in North Jersey, it was a quick haul for me. But yeah, when I moved down to South Jersey, different story, bud.
Yeah.
But WoHops was worth it in any case.
That's it. Okay, well, so I know the answer to that question before I ask it, but that's
How about
okay.
Mamoons?
Yeah, did you ever do
Mamoons?
Mamoons? The falafel place, Mamoons?
No.
That was, you know, another very interesting place. I mean, you know, real good falafels if you like that kind of thing. And it's the kind of place where you're sitting in there at 4 o'clock in the morning in January, and somebody opens the door and everybody's going like this because they're freezing to death. But you know, that's just part of. We'd leave the China Club at God knows what time and head downtown to Mamoons or WoHop or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Great, but WoHop was the rock and roll place, man. That was the
For sure. Well, since we're on like the culinary, the one thing I miss about living in the States, well, especially in the New York area, is the pizza pie, bro.
Oh,
You could be driving and just say, I'm hungry. You see a nondescript pizza parlor in the corner of a strip mall, stop in there, get a couple of slices, you know, the oil is dripping off of it. And boy, it's like filet mignon to me, you know, but yeah, I'm a pizza lover. And that's a one thing in Aruba. They got some good pizza, but you know, it's not that.
yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I'm halfway between you and New York and down here in Florida, and we're pizza challenged down here, but they're, it's getting better. It's getting better. And if you've been away from New York long enough, the pizza down here is pretty good. So,
Find the right person.
So yours will get better. Yours will get better.
So Mousy is
right.
watching.
Yeah,
She
you know
says-
Mousy, right?
Yeah.
Mousy?
Yeah.
She's
Hello,
watching.
She says, "Yo, Verge, I'm coming down for a drink."
Boy, we used to play Detroit's. You played Detroit's, of course.
In Portchester, of course. It used to be Happy Days, and then they called it Detroit's. Yeah.
Okay, well, I remember it as Detroit's, and we used to play there. I forget what night of the week, but we used to have a joint gig with Molly Cribb, and it was, a steady thing. And Mousy was there. I believe she was sound or roadie.
Yeah,
for-
sound. Or
Molly-
sound or lights, depending on, she'll chime in and tell us. She'll straighten us out.
Well, yeah, but what's great about Facebook is that with Facebook, you can, it's just all of a sudden you're connecting with people that you never, ever, ever in your life would have connected with ever again. And I saw Mousy, and I friended her, and I said, I know this girl from someplace. I don't know exactly where. And then just one day, shortly thereafter, I friended her on Facebook. I was thinking about Detroit's for whatever reason. I don't know. And bam, her face popped in right. And that was it. I remembered her from being there with, Gary Gorney and his brother and the band, Molly Cribb, But boy,
Yeah.
I tell you, there was some debauchery over there at Detroit's, but we don't have to go into that right now.
No, we can. We can go deep into it if you want. That's why. Are you kidding me? This is not an all ages show.
I'm going to tell you one very, very funny story from a guy we met in the fore and aft. Okay, the one, in White Plains. This guy came, and I remember we called him Big Mike, so I guess his name was Mike. And he loved us, man. He turned into a great friend, always coming to see us, a big supporter of the band. And we had a few original songs, and he gave us $1,000 to take the songs and hopefully get some others and go into a studio and record them. So these were different times in our lives, and we got the $1,000, and we had a very close friend that dealt in the white powder, cocaine.
Yes, the marching powder.
So we had this great idea that we would use the $1,000, buy this cocaine, sell it, and make so much money that, boy, we could do an album, and maybe even fix the truck at the same time. But
And stay away.
anyway, so we got this stuff, and then of course, we say, oh yeah, let's try it. Come on. And then we get these other big grandiose plans to do some more. Finally, the end of the story is, what that is. We wound up doing. Boy, was this guy pissed. We used to watch out because we thought he would send like leg breakers, to come and get us. But yeah, he was too nice of a guy for that. But boy, oh boy, I tell you, it was so funny.
Wow. Well, listen, I've been through a couple of those adventures, and at Detroit's. I mean, I remember some wild dressing room nights at Detroit's, and I mean every place. And you used to have, it was funny because you used to have your guys from the areas. I'm sure you had Big Mike when you were in Portchester, and you had, Happy Dan when you were on the island, and Smoking Joe when you were, and you'd be sitting there, and it was funny because you could tell when somebody's connection walked in, right? You'd be playing like the first set, and everybody'd be like, all right. And then one guy would like see his friend walk in, and he'd be like, because he'd know, I can't wait. Are we ready to take a break yet? Are we going to take a break?
Oh, just play the songs faster.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I used to do this thing. I don't know if it's going to work with this. I used to do this thing. Oh, thank you, my dear. I used to do this thing where I always had a towel, obviously drummer towel, and I used to just sit right up on stage and put the towel over my head like that, right on stage,
bullet.
and with the bullet. You remember the
Boy,
bullet?
yeah.
But let me tell
You
you,
know,
we
yeah.
just saw in the news. They said the '70s
Oh,
and
yeah.
the '80s were the time to do cocaine with strangers. Now, if you get it, it might be fentanyl.
Yeah, it could kill you
It could
now.
kill you.
Fentanyl is out there. I mean, you know,
So we did it
I
at the
think
right
it
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I just think it was more. It was different back then. It was. I don't know if innocent would be the word I would use, but now it's like a dark energy surrounding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then along came crack and all that stuff, and boy, you know, just yeah. I mean, it ruined people's lives anyway. But it just, yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
and man, I tell you what, I remember. Do you remember what was the place in Jamaica? Jamaica Queens?
Beggars
Oh,
Opera.
Beggars Opera. Did you play
Yeah,
there,
okay.
Beggars Operas?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Was it dark and cavernous?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
It was
I don't know.
pretty huge. It was on Jamaica. It was in Jamaica Queens. Anyway, I'm starting. I had been in the big days, big days, right? And I start to notice that my nose is getting a little, you know, like it's starting to freak out. I can see light coming through it. And so my roadie says, well, you know, stop snorting it, smoke it. And I said, smoke it? And she was our light girl. And she said, yeah, just smoke it. It won't hurt your nose. I said, all right, well, how do you do that? And she said, well,
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
so I'm on stage at Beggars Opera and I'm starting to crash, and she hands me this pipe and I put the towel over my head and I hit this thing, and I felt like I felt like I disappeared, like I was gone for a half a minute. And I look around because I figured I had to fuck the song up for sure. I had to make some kind, and nobody even noticed. And I said, well, I'm never doing that again. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was-
Boy,
no thanks. But listen, you know, that's another thing. We hit the drugs at the right time,
That's right.
and we
Yeah.
got out alive.
yeah.
Because it's crazy. I mean, I'm hearing about cops. Not that I want to get into the drug tales, but I'm hearing about cops opening up the trunks of cars and getting and there's so much fentanyl in the trunk that the cops are passing out and have to be hit with Narcan.
Okay, now one of our viewers, Sue
Oh.
Lacente, she's one of our regular viewers. She's remarking about smoking it. She said, I did that with my cousin one time. Best high I ever had.
Oh yeah, maybe once. Yeah, can you say Baltimore? No thanks. No thanks. That's a nasty
Yeah,
thing.
but yeah, we did see that on TV, the
Yeah.
news.
So anyway, let's get out of Dodge for a minute.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
move
when did-
with the conversation because we could go deeper now, can't we? But no, we're not going to go there right now.
No, well, you know, there's always next time.
Well, what I wanted to tell you was, and I wanted to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Billy Hector, was that when I first started, well, my first like bar band, I was in William Patterson College, and I met Billy Hector. I don't know if you know Billy Hector, but he's
I
one
know the
hell.
name. I don't know that I know Billy, but I know the name.
He's a legend up in, I would say the Jersey, New York area, but definitely Jersey's from the Jersey Shore. And we had a band called the Bogey Band, and we used to play the Suburban in Bloomfield, New Jersey. And we had every weekend we played there. You know, you would say, wow, that's crazy every weekend. But boy, we played every weekend. We packed it. You know, we had the girl singer doing all the rhythm and blues stuff and everything. And actually, yeah, it was right after then that I met Alex. And, you know, then it all transferred over to Badland stuff.
Wow.
And you ever played Dizzy Duncan's?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a place that
didn't.
in Jersey that held over 400 people that we didn't play. I mean, we
Okay.
played we played Dizzy Duncan's, we played Dodds, we played, oh God, I can't even think of all, you know, certainly Mothers, and it was nuts. It was the only, I mean, there were so many, it was like being on tour, only you never left the tri-state area, you know.
What's that place
yeah,
that was on the
sure.
water when Tim died?
In Seabright, that was,
Seabright, yeah. Yeah, I know the club.
Yeah.
And there was another one in Bricktown that we used to play.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, oh man, it was, believe me, those synapses are long since fried. But yeah,
Well,
Dizzy Duncan's, I remember all those. Well, I mean, I remember them pretty well.
yeah, good, as well as you can. But
Yeah.
after Badlands broke up, and shortly thereafter, I joined a band called Courtney, and they were actually like a top 40 band, and new wave was big at that time. So we played a lot of new wave, Huey Lewis and the News. And it was really cool songs, and a lot of it was that rhythm, the tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick, tick, cars are doing that stuff. But it was cool, then I would wear the Japanese headband, I don't know what the hell it said. Maybe it said, screw white people. Death to whitey. But it was a real lot of fun and a totally different crowd, know. It was a different crowd than the Badlands would attract. And this was after the drinking age has changed. And we would play places like Traces in Hillsdale. It changed names a bunch of times. We would play out in West Jersey, the Robinson, and I want to give a shout out to Diana Smith. She's listening. Hello, Diana. But that was a lot of fun, man, playing that new wave music. Oh boy, I really enjoyed it. I'm digressing a little bit, but and in my one-man show that I do here, I play a lot of different music, bro. I play everything from like merengue or salsa, not much of it, but I play it, to, of course, reggae, tropical rock, but country, soul, rock and roll. I just love it. I play a lot of music that I was not listening to back when I was in Badlands.
Yeah, you got to do what the people are coming to hear. And let me ask you this: do you use tracks or a machine, or is it just you solo by yourself?
Yeah, my process, and I have to thank Gary Oliar for this again. I spoke about him earlier. He's the multi-instrumentalist, plays with Jim Messina, and he's got the studio. I left the United States in 2006, and I wound up on an island called Bonaire, where I used to go there scuba diving every year. And so I wasn't a stranger to the place. I played with bands there. I had friends there. And once I left the States after a nasty divorce.
Oh.
I mean, I was married for 3 years. I went through a 3-year divorce.
Wow.
And I was in a bad place, and I was starting to do things that were not good for Rich Verge. So I figured I had to get out of Dodge, and I just left. I went to Bonaire, and I said, what am I going to do? So I recruited these guys for a band, so I had a band and I was playing, but then, it got to be a pain in the ass. This guy couldn't practice because he was, he had an argument with his wife. One guy was sick, one guy's car didn't work, whatever. So I went back to the States for a short bit and I hooked up with Gary, and Gary taught me my system, which is I import a MIDI track. In other words, I want a certain song. Okay. And I will choose from whatever vendor a MIDI track. I guess some geek sat down at a keyboard and made this thing, and I import it into my machine, and then I have to alter it because sometimes you find mistakes, and you also want to customize the song too. And then I put instruments to it, because when you get the track, it's playing on your sound card and it sounds real funky, karaoke music. So I make it sound like a band, and you can put in, for your bass drum, you got like 500 different choices. Snare, exactly what I'm talking
Believe
about.
me, I'm an idiot. So I mean, I've been in it since Commodore 64. If it wasn't for MIDI, I love MIDI. That's the language. So
I use Reason and Cubase.
Reason, and, Cubase. I know them both.
I'm proficient in what I do. Okay, the tracks, I make them sound. I play it as a one-man show now, and I just try to get it as close to a live band sounding. I mean, I know I'm one guy with my tracks, my guitar, my voice is live, and I think it sounds pretty good.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
But yeah, that's So anyway, I was telling you the story about Panera. I got so pissed off with having to have everything depending upon other people. So I said, "Fuck it," and I did it for the simplicity, and also economically, it's much better too. And before COVID, I was playing like 5-6 times a week, sometimes 7 times a week down here. And yeah, man, you can't do that with a band. I mean, you can, but
yeah, for a wedding band, I guess maybe you can, or something like that. But there's not that kind of work up here anymore.
So it's real easy. I take my stuff, and for me, I got a lot more equipment than other people that have here. For number one, I play with 2 speakers. Many people play with one. I never understood that shit. We got 2 ears, but anyway. But that's when going back to making the songs. That's you place the snare drum is not right in the center. The snare drum is over here. Maybe the keyboard is over there, and blah blah. So that's why I'm going all over the place.
No, it's okay, man. Believe me, because I get it. I know about the panning and the whole thing. I know it's 128. It's a language of 128, whatever it is, and I get it. The MIDI control voltage and all. I really do get it. And for me, that's how I wrote some of my best stuff. When the M1 came out, Korg came out with the M1. I had a Commodore 64, and I think I was using something called Syntec, was the software. And I just would change whatever the first sound was. 01 was piano, and 02 was brass. And I would write a different song every day using that sound, and that's how I learned MIDI. And it was a friend of mine, if you remember Utopia, Roger Powell taught me. Gave me my first MIDI lessons, and he actually was part of developing that language with Apple. So yeah, it's
that's
I love MIDI.
Time for our ad.
I'm getting flagged I got to do my sponsor thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's take a quick break for my supporters, my support crowd, and I'll meet you back here in a minute.
Okay, brother.
All right, see you in a second.
Most of you know I live in Southwest Florida now, and one of my favorite places to grab a bite to eat is Jason's Deli. Scott and Diana Willis have been in business here for over 20 years. The truth is, Jason's Deli has bigger choices of better food. You can eat healthy and enjoy the taste of quality ingredients. They're open 7 days a week for dine-in, pick-up, or deli delivery. With 4 convenient locations from Naples to Cape Coral, Florida, they are a must-try. Jason's Deli, where all good things come from wholesome ingredients. And Bradley's Jewelers in South Fort Myers. Diamonds, bridal, you name it, estate, custom design, and expert repair. Bradley's Jewelers, South Fort Myers. They specialize in amazing moments.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we paid the bills. We paid the bills. Now, and this is going to bring up an interesting question or an interesting situation. I don't know how much Angus told you about Pass the Peas or Friday Free for All or any of that stuff, but I'll fill you in, and then I'll ask you the questions, and then hopefully we'll see you on a Friday.
Yes.
Free for All Friday is anybody that's ever been on the show uses the same key to come in on Friday. Sometimes we have 9 or 10 guys, and it's all this. Mousy comes in. I'll bet you Mousy's in on Friday.
Yep.
And
Lenny comes in from Antigua.
yeah, Lenny Kotke from the Good Rats, bass player from the Good Rats, lives in Antigua. So he comes in and he does the Antigua report. I have to get you to do the Aruba report, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And it's funny because Lenny's on his porch and you can hear the little frogs beeping, and it's just
The wind blowing.
It's just incredible. So that's free for all.
They're about this big, and my wife is terrified of them. Quick story. One time I was walking by a piece of lumber. I saw something. and I wondered what it was, and I went down to look at it. It sucked onto my face. It jumped. I was a frog. The frogs don't bother me, but when he sucked onto my face, bro, boy, I think I jumped out of my fucking pants.
What?
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. This is what we love here on the show, bro. It's just what it's about.
Wow. Do they all do that?
Yeah,
Or was it just
they
that
all do
one?
that. Yeah, you walk down the street, they're all over.
I went out there with my pants down, you know. So, but anyway, it's a different story.
Yeah, that's another story. Different frogs.
Oh man, no wonder your wife's afraid of them.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow, that's
Well,
that's
frogs,
great.
they give warts, you know, and I wanted to do the French tickler thing. But then,
Hey, listen, you know what? If it feels good, do it. If it stops feeling good, pull it off.
Yo, I don't want anybody out there in Facebook land or whatever doing that or trying that. I didn't do it. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
no
yeah.
animals will be
Yeah,
used
yeah,
for
no,
sex.
no animals are abused during the making of this live stream. Oh, funny shit, man. So anyway, the other thing is, and I'm gonna do this for you because it's just too cool not to do. We do something called Pass the Peas, which is I have a studio here, you know, proper studio, and my drums are always set up. So I was in there today laying down some tracks, and then I send them to a bass player who puts a bass on it, sends it to a guitar player, and it goes around. But for you, I can write some MIDI tracks.
And he sings.
I can write some killer MIDI tracks for you. And
There you go.
You can put whatever sounds you want, so that'll be past the MIDI Ps. And you know, I mean, I don't know who else is down there, but I'll send you like some percussion stuff, and it's
you can
fun.
Send it to people that
Yeah.
are in Aruba.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got very good musicians here in Aruba. Let me tell you. Boy,
So there
people
you
that-
go. You got what? Sorry.
I'm saying we have very talented people, you know, like we got guitar players here that'll clean my house, you know, boy, or my clock, whatever that saying is. But yeah, I mean,
I
really,
think it's the clock, but you know, but then maybe they'll clean your house too, because you never know.
Well,
House gets dirty.
It's on your phone.
What? I don't know. It's crazy people texting. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Anyway, okay. So you ready for the career-ending questions?
yes, sir.
I already know about Wohop.
Yeah, man,
Favorite
boy,
Favorite restaurant on the road, Wohop. I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. Okay. So now,
especially when you hit. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You were going to say what?
I said, especially if you hit there after a gig, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. That's dinner time, bro. You know, when you're a musician, that's your dinner time, whether it's a diner, Wohop, whatever. Boy, you're going to eat. And Wohop, oh, boy, was the best. The best. And
Whoa.
so there you go.
Yeah, and you're not the first person that's claimed Wohop as their favorite road restaurant.
Joe
So
Berger
yeah,
said Wohop.
yeah. Well, Joe Berger,
Yeah.
he lived at Wohop. Okay, so the set list comes out, and there it is. Your favorite song to play live. It doesn't matter what band. It doesn't matter what era. Favorite song to play live.
You know, I thought about this before, and I said to myself, I might have to let him down because there's so many songs I love. But I mean, I would take a Stone song, Tumbling Dice, or I'm so in love with you.
Ah.
Boys,
Any way you want me to.
do. All right with me. Reverend Al. That's my wedding song, brother. I dedicated that to my wife on our most sacred of days.
Wow, nice. So that could be the song you never wanted
He's
to
a
play again.
romantic. He's a romantic.
Your current wife, your
Yes, the current.
Yes, my
Oh,
cousin.
oh,
Afraid of the
okay,
frogs.
very,
That's
very
afraid
good.
Of the frogs.
Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. Good. Well, listen, and she's obviously in Aruba with you, so that's got to be working.
Oh,
pretty
she's
cool,
a Peruvian. I was living on this island called Bonaire, and I met my wife. She wasn't my wife yet. She's a Peruvian. She was working at the medical university, and I came to Aruba to meet her family before we got married. And boy, you know, Bonaire is cool, but you know, it's good for scuba diving. But you know, 11 o'clock at night, man, there's not a stray dog on the street.
Yeah.
So, you come to Aruba, it's kind of like South Beach, Miami. People got nice shoes. You can go see a movie and stuff like that. And do I have time for a very quick story?
Yeah, go ahead. Lay it out.
You see this guitar here?
Oh, I was going to ask you, is that a 335?
Bro, that's a 335. My mother bought me this guitar long time ago, 43 years ago, or more. 1972 or three. That's almost 50 years ago.
That's
Anyway,
a long time.
it's shortly before she died tragically. But this guitar here, other than being a beautiful guitar, I was on a gig here, and I used to, because in the case it's cumbersome, and I used to have a cart and a lot of equipment, so I would take the guitar first and put it down by the car, and then I would go back at the cart and bring it back. And one night I did this at a hotel. Boy, my fucking guitar was gone.
Oh.
Gone. This beautiful guitar that my mother bought me shortly before she died, and wow, the guilt I experienced because I never should have done that. It was my fault. But anyway, I live on Aruba. I put out, this is a good and a bad thing, but if I lived in the States, I never would have gotten this guitar back. I put posters all over the place on social media, and through social media, 2 days later, I got the guitar back. I had to pay a small, reward, but it was kind of me getting spanked for leaving that guitar unattended. I never, ever should have done that.
Wow.
But now it's sitting right next to me.
Well, let me see that bridge. What's the bridge? That's not a stop tailpiece. What is that?
Yeah, I changed it. I changed it to this bridge, and I use what's called a Stetz bar. A Stetz bar is a vibrato.
Yeah.
Oh, the Stetz bar attaches to that, and I just use it to give my chords a little shimmer or a little, shake on the strings. I don't do any Eddie Van Halen shit, but.
Well,
Yeah.
Was it always was it always brown?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
the original, man. She's a beauty, and boy, I tell you, she cried and she screamed.
Well, if you remember Rat Race, Mark Hitt used to play a 355. He had a red one. Yeah. Oh, that was his. That was an ES 355 stop tailpiece. I don't know whether he had, whether it was patent applied fors or humbuckers or what. But man, and I thought to myself, how the hell are you going to play a hollow body guitar in Rat Race Choir? And man, he made that through high watts and just made that sucker wail. So yeah, and I noticed that the minute Angus showed me the pictures, because we do Who's Coming Up on Monday, and I said, man, look at that, because I love guitars. I have a couple, but I've always loved them, and that's a beautiful. I've never seen a Brown 335 ever in my life.
Yeah. Manny's Music. God.
48th Street.
48th Street is gone, bro, from what I understand.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We Buy, Sam Ash, are all gone. But all right, well, so this next question might be a little easier for you. This is the song that the set list comes out. You don't ever want to play this song again. If I don't ever have to play this song again, I'll be a happy guy. What's that song?
Well, everybody says they hate playing Brown Eyed Girl, and I think why they say they hate playing Brown Eyed Girl, I'm going to answer the question, but they hate playing it because they maybe if you get a gig once a week or once a month or whatever, and then Brown Eyed Girl, what the fuck, I got to play that. I play Brown Eyed Girl often. I love this song, boy. Anyway, but the song, I don't know. I could say like Freebird. It's a great song, but boy, you know how many times I played Freebird, Steve?
I can imagine.
I thought he was going to be number 20.
Yeah, so we've had 19 friends say Brown Eyed Girl. It is the most.
That's why I mentioned it, because I think why they hate it is because they get up the chance to play, and man, I don't want to play Brown Eyed Girl. I love playing Brown Eyed. I would play it for you right now I'm sorry, I'm not giving you the finger, but I cut the shit out of my finger, before, and I was reaching in the sink, and there was a knife there, and boy, I did a job on it. I hope it gets better by tomorrow.
Nah, just put a couple of frogs on it. It'll be fine.
We've had a couple of free birds too.
Yeah, we've had a couple of free birds. So are we putting you? We're putting you down for free bird.
Yeah, not that I got anything against the song. It's just like I'm not really into. I tell you what, we had a Badlands band reunion back in 2014. We coupled it. Well, Rick Bandasian put together this weekend. Rick Bandasian, he owns Circus Circus with his brother.
I think
Jack.
I remember him. I think because we played Circus Circus a lot.
Yeah. Well, there were two brothers, Rick and Jack, and Rick wrote a book called Rock and Roll Circus, and he had a book signing party. Friday night it was up in Bergenfield because Circus Circus is no longer there. It's right down the street at a place, Tommy something other. And then Saturday it was down the shore in Point Pleasant at Jenkinson's on the beach. And boy, I forgot where I was going with this.
It happens.
Yeah.
But we were talking about what? We were talking about
We're talking about Brown Eyed Girl, or we were talking about.
So one of the viewers wants to know.
Sorry?
One of
Was
the.
Circus Circus in Newburgh?
No.
It was in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, it was in Bergen County, right?
Bergenfield, New Jersey. But anyway, we had we had a reunion with a few other bands. We had there was Condor, and then the band that used to do all the Woodstock stuff. Yeah, I forget their name, but boy, it was a lot of fun. But I forgot where the hell I was going with it. So that's what happens. That's what drugs do to you, folks. That's what drugs do to you.
Well,
Or
yeah,
age.
yeah. You know what? It's really, believe me, there's some ginkgo. Go down to one of the many grocery stores, say "Ni hao ma," and then ask for some ginkgo, and you'll be fine.
If I say ni hao man, they punch me in the face, bro.
They're not. I could give you things that would work, but no, I would not
He
do
would
that
not
to
do
you,
that.
man. No. And the truth is, if I mean, I wouldn't insult the Chinese people by having you go in there and say something rude. So no. It's believe me, it's a common phrase, and Sai Jen is goodbye, and
Because he used to, when our friend would leave our house, they'd smoke a joint, and it'd be Sai-Jin J.
Oh yeah. Now I have a question for you because I have two more questions, but I have a real another question.
The Freebird, part of the Freebird, what I didn't like was I remember that's why I said we had the reunion, and bro, at the end of that song in the lead, and it goes on and on and on, and it's all these triplets and crazy, it's all triplet. Man, I tell you, these old fingers were having a hard time keeping up. By the end of that song, I put that guitar down and I said, "No more today, bro."
Wow.
So.
All right,
Anyway.
so listen, we'll write you up for Freebird.
Yeah.
But is there weed down there in Aruba?
Yeah, well, as long as you're discreet, you're free to fire up and do whatever you want here. I mean, it's a Dutch island, and it's strange because in Holland, everything's legal, coffee shops. Here, it's a conservative Catholic majority, and they think if you're smoking weed, you're smoking crack, or that you're they could say a chaler, like a junkie,
Yeah.
Which is not the case. I mean, look at me, right?
I'm looking.
But there's a preponderance, and if you want to come down and visit me, brother, there's a real big preponderance.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm coming down to jam. I'm sending you MIDI files. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Believe me, that'll happen. But I'll hit the next two questions, and then we'll agree.
Yeah,
to...
I'm sorry.
No, man. Believe me, this is the best part of it. This is the part of. Don't you remember being backstage and you'd see somebody saying, "We're on." Well, just wait a minute. And so then we went down. This is the beauty of doing the show. It's why I do it. So, there's no. Trust me, it's not like my sponsors are banging down the door saying the hour's up. It's my wife saying dinner's ready. But it's
Okay.
Yeah, you got to do that. Yeah. So all right. So now. I mean, I don't even feel like asking the questions. I just want to bullshit for another 5 minutes. But if you couldn't play your instrument, right? If you couldn't play guitar and you could play any other instrument in the world and shred at it, absolutely kill at it, what would it be?
Saxophone, brother. I picked up the before I had the guitar. Saxophone is sexy, but I picked up the saxophone. I was in grammar school, probably like fourth, fifth grade, sixth grade. And boy, you know, I mean, I'm a musician. So yeah, I have talent. I could play. But my brother had a friend that was pretty good on the saxophone. So he would teach me. And while the other kids were in the school playing their scales and Mary Had a Little Lamb, I'm playing Strangers in the Night and shit like that. But
Yeah.
this is also the time, you know, this is the late 60s and Beatles, girls didn't go after guys with saxophones. They went after guys with long hair and play guitar. So yeah, it was buy me a guitar, man. But,
Yeah, so you gotta convert.
Yeah, man. I mean, piano would be beautiful, but I tell you, if I could play saxophone, ooh, boy.
Yeah, I have a couple of great friends that play sax. Both of them actually played. One of them is still playing with Billy Joel, Mark Rivera. But yeah, but man, I mean, if you can hit that thing, and I've had a lot of great sax players on the show. It's just and their stories, the brass guys, even though it's a brass reed, those guys, their stories are completely different than the rock bass player, guitar player, drummer stories. It's like the
You mean
horn
like
section.
we're sharing? They're different than these stories?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just because their whole experience is different. But I had
They didn't get the chicks, Steve. They didn't get the chicks.
believe me, I know. We got them, and you said, "Want to meet the sax player?" Nah. But there you go. All right, last question, man. And then Friday night, I'm going to be counting on you, Mousy. If you're there, you're already booked for Friday night.
Time Friday. What time?
Same time.
Same time.
Are you
Boy,
gigging?
Friday nights I work, bro. I work. Friday nights I work.
Well,
Yeah, but you
take
got
a
to
break.
take a break, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
okay.
people do it all the time. I had. Do you know Jeff Seitz? He was he was in a band called Godspeed.
Yeah, man, boy. Yeah.
He checked in from back. He's working with Stuart Copeland. They're on the road. He checked in from the wings, and this lady's yelling at him, "What are you doing? Get off that phone!" And I said, "Who is that, man?" He said, "That's my wife. She's the stage manager." So
Okay. I didn't know what the idea was, so I just call and check in, say what's up, and you bullshit.
yeah,
We have guys driving to like different states.
Yeah, we got
on
all.
their way
It's
to
it's
gigs,
it's
they
you,
talk
you don't have to.
5
You come in for
minutes.
5 minutes, man. It's like
Okay, yeah, I get you. No, that's fine. Speaking of Jet Side, Stuart Copeland, and everything like that, you better watch out. I think Stuart's rig is getting to be almost as big as yours, bro.
Yeah, well, you know what? Do you see me worrying? Nope.
Nope.
And no, but he is, he's out with an orchestra. He's doing all. He's in it. He's rocking it. But I don't sweat Stuart. But that's a whole nother show. Stuart, if you're listening, bro, don't worry about it. But and I don't think Stuart ever played two kick drums. I'm the double bass guy, and that's whatever. Okay, so here we go. This is the big one. This is the one that defines. It's just bullshit. It doesn't define anything. But if you could play one live gig with anybody or any group of guys, living or dead, who would it be?
The Rolling Stone, brother. The great all time. Without a doubt.
Man.
I was thinking of other people. I was saying Prince, Stevie Ray Vaughan, but Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Rest in peace, Charlie Watts.
Man, no kidding. And our buddy Steve Jordan got that gig, and he deserves it. But yeah, man, Charlie, wow. It's
Part of the family.
He was 80 though.
Yeah, he was 80 years old, so I guess Charlie, it's okay.
Like, yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Put more money in the meter? No, time's up. I'll see you.
I mean,
This is what's happening, and what we have to get used to is that our heroes and the world that we grew up with and was around us, man. It's just it's leaving us. The other day, I got very emotional. I was, I wake up in the morning, I turn on YouTube, and what am I in the mood for? And man, the Bee Gees came on, and I see the three brothers there, and two of them are gone, and it's just
Three
it's a
of them
sad,
are gone.
it's real, it's life. No, two. Oh, yeah, three, because Andy.
The little one, yeah, man, the youngest one. It's great, and it's so sad to see Barry out there because he's the oldest one, and then that's anybody's still doing it, man. He's still doing it. So.
I was looking at the video. They're young, they're good looking. Barry had the hair and shit, and boy, man, you just wow. But yeah, that's yeah. This the people you grew up with, and that's your heroes and people you love.
It's the season of our lives, but it's everything in its own time, and it's.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here, man. We're still here.
Unbelievably so, boy.
Well, that's a good thing, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy to spend this time with you, and to be continued. So yeah, check in with us. I'm going to make sure Angus hammers you with a reminder. Just pop in Friday night for a minute, because it's fun for us. We get to see where you are. It's cool. And I'm going to get you to do the Aruba report. I had Lenny Kotke do the Antigua report, and it's so cool to for people to see where you are.
He saw a donkey on the side.
I could do the weather report. It's a beautiful, crystally clear day. You can expect the same ad infinitum until I inform you otherwise.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's a beautiful thing. Hey, man, Rich, this was awesome, bro. This was so cool.
Thank you for the opportunity, brother.
Hey, man, always. And
I'm humbled. I'm humbled that a guy with your resume and your accomplishments would talk to this dude that whatever. So very good.
Well, thank you for the compliment. But the truth is, and the one thing that I try to get across to the listeners is that we're all a part of the same family. And it really doesn't matter what it says on your resume. It matters what it says here. And that's what matters. And so, I appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. Well, it all comes from there. But you know what I'm saying, man. It's what happens between 4 and thank you, good night. So, you're still playing. You're still doing it. I see the smile on your face. You got the Aruba glow. What's bad about that?
And you were a lot of fun.
Yeah. And this was fun, man. Really fun. So we'll catch up. We're going to do it again. And we'll figure out another night. Maybe we'll do the New Jersey night. I'll get sites on. Yeah, everybody wants you to come back on, so we'll do it again, man. We'll do it again.
I'll get the frogs, bro. I'll get the frogs.
I got to know the frogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man. Well, thank you for spending your time with us, Rich, and I'll hope to see you one of these Fridays. I'm sending you some MIDI, and to be continued, my brother.
Okay, folks. See you all at home. This is Ricky, your brother Ricky, returning you to your regularly scheduled program.
Take care, bro. Good to see you. See you Friday.
Hey,
all right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
That was great. And that's the way. He was great, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles here on Rock and Roll Show and Tell.
Yes.
And that's the coolest part, when. He left the States in 2006. Mm-hmm. When am I going to run into Rich Verge, Ricky, brother Ricky? I like that.
If you're in Aruba, go see him play.
Trust me. Yeah, if you're anywhere near Aruba, we'll find out where he's playing. Yeah, man.
Sings really good.
He's playing a lot. So go check him out, and I think you'll have a good time down there. Mm-hmm. And that's it for me. I think I hear chicken tacos sizzling in the background.
You're going to hear who we have tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night. Yes.
Tomorrow night we have a guitarist on, and her name is Kristen Capolino.
Oh, right.
And she played with Al DiMella.
Oh, God, you didn't just do that. Al DiMella. You guys know Al DiMella, right? He used to play with Al Di Meola but Al DeMella. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that. Play with Al DeMella. And Al Jarreau. Don't forget him.
What's Al's last name?
Dimiola.
I
Dimiola.
spelled it Dimella, and it looks like it's pronounced Demella. Oh, shoot.
All right, listen, guys.
Al
You know,
Dimiola.
oh,
Anyway, her
shit.
name is
I live
Kristen.
here. This you got to understand. This doesn't stop when I get off the air. You know, this is it.
Oh, man.
Every day. This is what it is. Al DeMella. I can't wait. We're gonna have to ask. It's Kristen
Kristen
Capolino. At least you got that
Capolino.
right. Gonna have to ask her about Al DeMella. Holy Christmas! All right, kids, you know what it is. If
Yes.
I don't see you in the future,
Oh,
woo.
not chicken tacos, Sue, not beef. Oh, she
No,
had,
yeah,
she
chicken
had
tacos.
beef tacos tonight.
Oh
Well, it's
wow!
Taco Wednesday.
Taco Wednesday. All right,
Oh,
kids.
See you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture, but I'll
Good
see you in
night,
both.
everybody.